Welcome to the Big Picture Film Club. And for this interview, we are going to discuss Chris Rock's 2009 documentary, Good Hair. And with us today, we have the charismatic comedian and candid cultural commentator, Ava Vidal. Ava, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Cool. Thank you very much for, sort of spending the time with us and sort of giving us your time. I suppose, well, as a comedian, like, just as a person, like, what were your initial thoughts upon like seeing a Good Hair documentary the first time you saw it, or your initial thoughts? Because I know it came back in 2009, so maybe like your perspective may have changed in that time, but it would be good to know like your like first initial thoughts on
I never saw the full thing before.
Oh, okay.
Before a couple of days. I've seen clips and stuff from it. I did try to watch it. I fell asleep. That's no reflection on it. I was so yeah, I've seen clips, and obviously seeing clips of things that are, got a comedic slant in 2009 are very different from seeing them now. So yeah, there's been a lot of examples of that. I mean, there's lots of stuff that would have been on In Living Color, or any of the Mad TV that was really funny back then, but now you're going, oh my goodness, that's terrible. So when you see it back and you see certain clips through that lens, it's easy to form a prejudice. But I'm not going to lie, it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It wasn't. It wasn't. There were a couple of off comments. And like I said, you can see now with what's happening to Black women across the world is more prominent because of social media and stuff. It wasn't around in that kind of way back then. I know that there've always been Black feminists, womanists who've spoken about these issues, but not everybody was tapped into it. So, putting some perspective on it, I can see why the comments were offensive, and I can see why, and then also there's been the other build-up of his work and other issues that he's had since. So, people are looking at it like that, but, it was interesting to me.
So I guess generally, like, as what are your thoughts on the sort of the general mixing of comedy and social commentary in film formats? Does that work? Does it have a place, or is that like just very tough to mix the two well?
No, for me, comedy has a place in everything. Do you know what I mean? So like everything I do, even, you're having conversations, even if you're writing something, even if you're writing a drama script, you're going to put a couple of jokes in there. So I can kind of see, and it does make things easier when you're talking about very difficult issues, very heavy issues, there are a lot of weight behind them, a lot of history behind them. It does help to have comedy. I don't disagree with that at all. I think always, as ever, who's the target of the joke, basically.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. And I guess since 2009, and you've kind of alluded to it beforehand, do you think, I don't know quite how to phrase this, do you feel like Black women feel more empowered to present themselves as they see fit, and not sort of be held to an external standard? Or do you think it's the same thing, just a different way, a different mechanism, a different system?
No, I mean, there's definitely been movement. There have been a lot of Black women who've got together, who've spoken to people around the world, who've utilised social media, who are speaking about what our hair means to us. Black always being political and all that kind of thing. So there's definitely been movement. To say there hasn't been would be to just undermine all that work that's been done. Definitely the natural hair movement. And I mean, but obviously there are still difficulties. I don't know if you saw the recent TikTok with the young lady that was talking about going out with natural hair, and she was getting used to not wearing any extensions. And then at the end, she put a caption up, but only white men talk to me when my hair's like that. which is actually, to me, I find it funny because I got what she was talking about, and people just went mad on her. So there are still issues around natural hair and stuff like that, and people are touchy around it. If you say, oh, you know, no one's saying the white guys who like it are not fetishizing, you know damn well that they are, but it's still funny. Do you know what I mean? When you've got black guys calling you nappy head, you're just like, what am I meant to do? So yeah, I think as always, I don't know, I've just recently come to about social media. I just think sometimes you can over debate something and weigh it down, like, you know, it's already a weighty subject. Just drag it right down. It's a lot. It's a lot.
And for yourself, was there a particular sort of journey of be it like self-acceptance, but kind of self-expression that you had to go to feel that actually, no, I'm very comfortable in my own skin now? Or was that something you felt was that you had a particular confidence perhaps embedded in from your childhood because of a particular grounding that you may have had?
No, not really, because I went to boarding school when I was 6, and I spoke about it on stage before, and they actually cut my afro off, and it was not, they cut it off, and a white guy did it with scissors, so you can imagine what I looked like, and it was not good. So I think I've always accepted my hair because I always had, like, you know, after the age of 3, I had quite a lot of it, apart from that one incident. So it was just too hard for me to handle. I didn't sit, because I was at boarding school, I was never taught by anybody to sit down and cane row hair and really how to look after it and stuff like that. So for me, it was more of a convenience thing and a trend thing. And I do remember there being a moment, I can't remember what I was watching. It was something on BBC Two. It was like when they, you know, did like quite a few black dramas, and this girl was getting her hair weaved, and I used to weave my hair, and I just remember looking at it thinking, oh, that looks a bit weird to me, sewing someone else's hair onto your head. And then after that, I just didn't do it again. And I don't think and it's not a criticism of anybody that does. I understand all the issues around it, jobs, you know, people discriminating against you. I understand all of it. And I do comedy, so I can do plaits, I can do twists. So, you know, I'm not going to an office every day, so I'm not going to judge somebody that is. But I don't know, but I still don't really wear my afro out. I just can't be bothered. And that really is all there is to it. And I feel bad. I can't be bothered with it. It's just like, do this, get it out every like month and a half, do it again. And, you know, my hairline's not thanking me, but keep doing it. I haven't got time for all of that. I wish I did. Like, I love like seeing black women who like on Instagram or YouTube doing all the oils and all the massages and stuff like that. I can't bother.
Fair enough. And the final question is, particularly in lieu of Chris Rock making the documentary, what did you think of like the Oscar slap situation? And
I'm taking myself out of trouble these days.
Go.
I am. I mean, I you know, it's been handled.
Fair enough.
Liz said his bit. Chris Rock apparently is doing jokes about it. Jade has said her bit on the red table, and I think, you know, we all comment on it, so we could just all do with minding our own business a bit more. Yeah. Minding a business is free. I've learned that.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Minding your business is free. That's
yeah.
Ava, thank you very much for your time. I know it's short, but I really appreciate your thoughts, and look forward to hearing more from you. And thank you very much once again for your time.
No problem. Thank you.